Hey everybody, and welcome to round 3 and the final round of the OTB Open presented by Innova Discs. We are back out at Swenson Park Disc Golf Course. And I'm Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Honk. Hope you guys have enjoyed all the action over the past 2 rounds. We're excited about day 3. We have kind of a close running for the lead. Paige Pierce is just a couple of strokes ahead of Catrina Allen, and Jessica Weese tied for second at 8 down. Lisa Fajkus right on their tails at 6 down. And there's a lot of people under par on the leaderboard in the top 10.
Yeah, this is the same lead card we saw yesterday. These ladies are playing super consistent. Only 2 strokes separates first and second right now. But honestly, there could be a chase card, catch. We don't know. There's so many birdies out there.
Yeah.
Hole 5 is one of those birdies. Likely for all of these ladies. It's 776 feet. It's super reachable. You'll see some of them lay up short of the green. You might see Paige trying to blast one past the green. You can throw hyzer off the tee or a huge anhyzer, and then it's a chip shot under a low ceiling. If you land before the green, you're trying to then just kind of chip up twice. Yeah. And then try to get the birdie. But eagle is in play for the monster arms.
Thanks again to GK Pro for the awesome coverage all weekend long and for being on the FPO side. We really appreciate you guys, and thanks for having us.
390 feet according to the Bushnell distance drive. Pretty big shot, but also safe.
Catrina Allen.
Yeah, she's going to definitely have to contend with the low ceiling over there on her second shot. In yesterday's round, Catrina was all over the fairway, getting up and down over and over again, just a little bit high on the putts. Hopefully we can see her capitalize onto all the positions she's putting herself into today.
Yeah, she takes that beautiful anhyzer route, but pushes it too far and is unfortunately out of bounds. She can save a par from there, though.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
That green is 350 feet from the tee pad. It's definitely in reach. There was a left to right crosswind / tailwind going on today that probably helped that disc finish out a little sooner than normal.
Yeah, Jessica looks like a similar line with her Philo Destroyer, but it's got a little bit more finish and she's safe.
Lead card, Lisa Fajkus.
After her victory last weekend, it's good to see Lisa on the lead card 2 days in a row.
She's going to be throwing this halo turn all day. And I believe she'll take that hyzer route. Mm-hmm. And she's a little right as well, just like Paige's. So they'll both have maybe kind of a tricky tunnel-like shot on their second. Pretty similar conditions today to all the other days. It starts out a little calmer. The wind picks up. It's definitely a factor, but pretty nice. I mean, you're out there in t-shirts throwing frisbees. You're not too upset about the conditions.
It's been great to be able to wear shorts every single round. Like, I feel like I heard Owen the other day talking about we just haven't been able to put the pants away yet.
She's right.
Jess lining up a forehand after a big bomb backhand off the tee.
It's likely one of her Vulcans. She likes to throw those kind of touchy or flippy discs and show off her control with the angles. Yeah, that'll be an easy bird. Mm-hmm. Catrina having to scramble, well, unless she can make it from here. She's going wide out and around. X1, which is pretty stable. I mean, she'll actually have a chance for the birdie, which is nuts.
Yeah, I would say it's about 400 feet from where she took her out of bounds position to the pin. So that was a crush.
Save her birdie is not something you normally say. Paige burns that one over a little bit. It looks like she's outside circle 2.
Man, Lisa, is that for? Oh, that was her.
Yeah, it's her third.
So like, she's drive is
she's amazing. Yeah,
this one.
Yeah, she'll have a pretty much a tap in for her birdie.
58% of the field with a birdie or better. So this definitely plays a little bit as a soft par. We've told you in days past, anytime we have a same tee pad as the MPO, they give us a stroke par. So it does make those holes play a little bit easier than the ones with the FPO designated tee pads.
The red carpet, if you will. I do want to give a shout out to Ella Hansen, who I played with. She eagled this with a monster Anheuser roller, landed past the green, threw a forehand long, and then made a circle 2 putt for eagle. So that was super tight.
Unbelievable.
Just like that putt, that was really a good conversion from Jessica.
Yeah, great birdie putt. Also, an eagle. Wow.
Right?
There's just eagles dropping everywhere out here this weekend. Caw. Erika with the successful bird calls on hole 1. Paige converts her birdie.
You don't want to hear me try to do an eagle screech right now. It's too early.
Lisa with the birdie as well.
Yeah, making it look easy.
Catrina to save the par.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And with an
Wow.
out of bounds stroke.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, with an out of bounds stroke, it's par is not too
I
bad.
forgot she was going for birdie there. Crazy.
Crazy. Hole 2 is a par 3. It's 344 feet, but you can't really take that direct route. You have to do this big Anheuser shot that hopefully finishes enough to get inside the circle. There is water just behind the basket inside the circle distance. There's also a hyzer route that I think we'll see Lisa take today. Everyone else, I believe, will be dropping the big Anheuser bombs, hoping not to finish out on the golf green on the left-hand side.
Paige trying to buzz one in there. It's definitely 2 churned, and that'll be an easy pitch up there from there, but not quite what she was going for. This is a destroyer from Jess, but like a really beat-in one, which is, it turned a lot, which is kind of crazy.
Really great angle, but still just a little too overstable for the shot. But she's in circle 2 land under that big tree.
Lisa's showing us that hyzer route. The tricky part is you have to try to turn it around that tree. I try this route every day and I hit that tree every day. Maybe it's not the route, but you're not bringing out of bounds into play, which is why it's not a bad play. You know, you might get the birdie. You're probably getting the par.
Mm-hmm. That one looks like it slides out a little early, but it ends up absolutely perfect.
Yeah. That was H3 V2 parked.
Absolutely parked.
Ooh, one more time.
Yeah, I want.
Beauty.
Look at it, finish just right at the perfect time.
Yeah. Catrina, I'm sure, is looking to catch Paige early, put the pressure on.
Especially going into the final 6 or 7 holes that are super
Pressure filled.
Yeah, pressure filled, tough. It'll be windy.
Terrifying.
Good to go ahead and level it up on these birdie holes.
Yeah, these first probably 6-ish holes are all gettable. You're looking to, get the birdies early and just keep your foot on the gas.
Mm-hmm. We say these are all birdie holes, but literally there was
Birdieable.
there's only 1, 2 on this hole
Yeah.
for the day, and we just watched it.
Wow. I mean, this is probably the least birdieable of the first 6. So, I mean, it's 344 feet on a technical line, you know?
Yeah, and that line makes the hole a lot longer as well. Feels longer.
Great birdie from Catrina. Hole 3, you're throwing across the water, trying to avoid landing on this green on the right, so you're throwing a pretty straight shot. Paige might try to go over it. And then there's this OB asphalt area on the right, and then an OB green on the left. There's some like yellow rope on the left, but there's like more safe area than it looks when you're initially looking at the drone flight. So let's see what to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of space for your second shot to land if you don't decide not to be aggressive and go for the green. Catrina looks like she's kind of trying to go over the green.
I don't know. I think she's probably trying to lay up short.
Yeah.
Man, 2 OB strokes in the first 3 holes.
There's room to clean it up, though, and they're so close. Paige definitely going over the green. Yesterday, she was pinched off behind the building that's on the right-hand side. Today, she gives it a lot more space to breathe.
And it looks like that was a little bit more stable of a disc, too, to get the finish to the left.
You know, if Paige is struggling to get over that green, it is a bomb. It says 385 on the caddy book, but it's uphill, and there was a kind of a weird wind.
Well, I'm just trying to get there on an Anheuser line is tough.
Just opting for the forehand, which is a smart play here. Super safe play. Not trying to bite off too much there, and she'll be a little pinched on her second shot. May not be able to see the basket, but there's plenty of room to work.
Yeah, she can throw another sidearm or an Anheuser from there and still get there for a birdie look. Lisa not quite turning this one enough. She'll have a pretty max distance drive to try to get to the green from there.
Definitely uphill as well. Opting for the forehand. Lisa's not... Well, maybe she is going for it.
Yeah, I was in that exact same spot, and you can definitely get up there to at least make your par easy. All that weird cart path donut thing is not out of bounds. Like, there's a lot of room on that left side to land.
Yeah, from where Lisa landed, it's probably about 275 to where she was trying to get that forehand.
Jessica also opting for the forehand. And
playing with the right side open.
Circle 2, probably? I don't think so. There's, like, more room on that right than you think.
Yeah, there's a little bubble.
Mm-hmm. Catrina working to save her par once again.
There's a big Anheuser shot. Plays with the green, but does not come all the way up to it. She'll be out. She'll be in circle 2.
Good effort, but scary putt.
Yeah. Super death putt.
250 according to Bushnell here.
Pretty straightforward shot for Paige.
He's like dead straight. Exactly straight with her Pierce.
That's an easy birdie.
Yeah, this one is also tough.
Hopefully grabs this. The basket's perched on a little hill. It's one of the few that we do have to think about that. A lot of times on golf courses you have that over and over and over again, but it doesn't happen that often out here, which shows just how thoughtful they are in picking the greens in the course design. This one is definitely on a hill with out of bounds really close by.
Yeah, it tests your courage.
Scary. Yeah. Just giving it a soft bid because she has the green just behind it. Smart play.
Good par from Lisa with a, less than perfect drive. She did really well to get her par.
Only one birdie on the day, and then we get to watch it right here, folks.
Yeah, and that's 2 more strokes on Catrina, so Paige now has 4 strokes to play with.
And we move into hole 4, a really long par 5, 862 feet, but definitely birdieable with 2 big drives. There's a Mando on the left-hand side that keeps you from going out into that golf green fairway area. Forces you in the trees. There's out of bounds along the right-hand side the whole way. There's a little river over there. Basically, you just want to try to get as much distance as possible on the first 2 drives with the low ceiling. The tee pad's a little bit elevated, so you almost have to throw kind of nose down on the first drive.
A little early out of Paige's hand. Massive tree kick to a good spot. It's more open on the right.
Yeah, and she'll still even be able to probably get a birdie from there. If she finished way left, it would be a lot more difficult because the Mando tree is over there, and it would definitely pinch off her second shot.
I think Jess took this halo turn out of Lisa's bag and then threw it. Turned it a little too much. Lisa has a backup, though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This is also a halo turn. Thrown a little bit cleaner, gets a full flight out of it. Kind of behind that tree, but
that is
shouldn't be
the landing zone.
I know. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just a little annoying.
Yeah, a lot of roots, a lot of little ground squirrel holes underneath it. Catrina looks like maybe she's trying to hyzer just before it, or just after it.
She's in a great spot. Yeah, that tree is a vortex.
It's just in the absolute perfect place.
Man,
Whoever placed that tee pad.
Paige kicked up a little farther than I thought. She should have no trouble getting the 4. Yeah, she's way up there. I'm not jealous at all.
Jess with a little bit of a sideways hill to do her run up on. Might mess with her angle a little bit, but she still gets down there. Oh no, a little cut roll action, but it sits down nicely. She'll be about 300 feet from the pin.
I'm dealing with some weird footing in that tree again, and she
Still
did that really well.
capitalizes, yeah.
Really, really well. It's
Catrina-
like they all deserve to be here or something. They're so good.
Catrina way out in the open, throws a really big hyzer shot, getting way down the fairway.
Yeah, she's going D2, D2 again, trying to get max distance.
She'll have a little chip shot to the green. Just forced to throw another drive. Flips it, tickles the right-hand side. Definitely a lot more right than she was hoping for.
Yeah, she's flipped him.
What did she throw there?
That one was a turn.
Huh.
She threw like turn, try turn again, and she's just, the angle's just not quite perfect. She's turning him a little bit too much. Ooh.
I'm surprised she opted for something so flippy on that shot.
Lisa with a really good shot. I don't know. Jess throws flippier plastic than a lot of people, and just depends on her
Angle of
touch,
release,
you know? So I think that's really normal for her, and she's just having a little bit of a misrelease.
Paige also misreleases just a tiny bit, but she's still right around circle's edge, just inside the circle.
Catrina with 175 to the pin, and couldn't have done it better.
Forked.
I bet she gives this like an Anheuser floaty run. Good effort. Paige with a little work left to do here. I don't think that tree's in her way. Yep. Nice birdie.
Yeah, even with the misfire off the tee, no problem. Lisa finds left side chains, get her birdie.
Yeah, that battle, or I wouldn't call it a battle for second place yet, but that where they all are, 8 down, 9 down. I mean, they're not that far behind Paige. Like, it's pretty intense.
Those last 6 holes, I mean, anything could happen. There's so much out of bounds. Like, you can't really call it until you get through those holes.
Yeah.
After that big bombing par 5, we move on to hole 5, which is a par 3. It's 321 feet, one of the shorter holes on the course, but that does not mean it's any less difficult. There's a bunch of routes you can take to the basket, but none of them are really like wide open. We'll see probably a few different options here. I think the middle gap is the biggest gap, but it's not easy. There's a lot of low-hanging tree branches, and if you flip your disc at all, there's a lot to get tangled up in on the right-hand side.
Paige throws her Raptor into circle 2. That's a pretty common play. The hyzer's way more open than it looks from the tee. I'm trying to think who did it yesterday. Catrina did it yesterday. Yep. I saw Cat Merch lace that line as well, so I kind of hope we see that again. But this Anheuser play is definitely a little bit more common.
There's just more airspace over there, and it looks more inviting, but in reality,
it's a much more technical line.
Definitely.
But Lisa gets herself a circle 2 putt as well.
After watching Catrina do this yesterday, I wanted to remember to look at it during
I
my
did
round.
look at it, but it doesn't look very friendly.
No. I just didn't even think about it. As golfers, we all like have this mentality where we just stick to our game plan. Like that's all you have to do.
Yeah,
Just stick
right.
to your game
You
plan.
think about breaking your game plan, you're like, no, I can't.
Why would I do that?
It's too dangerous.
Catrina catches the tree at the end, but she'll be in circle 2 land. Jess with a really great looking shot. Oh, man,
She almost had it perfect.
Yeah, I thought she was past that tree.
That looked like a stable enough disc that it would, fade out after turning.
And this green is a little more sandy than the rest of the greens. It's like kind of deep sand. You don't get a lot of skip action. It just grabs. You can see just lay right down. Paige with a long birdie look. I saw this from the next fairway. I thought it was in.
It looked great the whole time.
Again, her long putts are looking amazing. Tracking right in the center, just a little bit high. Lisa with a step putt. Doesn't quite get the power on it that she wanted. Catrina forced to take a knee. There's some low-hanging willow branches on the green.
Full commitment. Good effort.
Only 2 birdies on the day from the FPO field. I'm very surprised by that. Congrats to Missy Gannon and Kat Mersch.
Yeah, all these super birdieable holes, huh?
I know. What are we talking about?
I mean, it's true. They're at least gettable. You get down there later and it's like, well, I'm playing this for par. These ones you can at least entertain the idea of birdie.
Yeah, and it's hard. You have to go out on this course with the mentality that you will birdie because,
Otherwise, you'll cry.
yeah, it's easily defeatable. Yeah, this course the design is awesome. It's a great ladies course. It's a bomber course that I still enjoy, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But it is humbling.
After all those pars, everybody's looking to attack on this 292-foot par 3. You're just trying to pick a gap left or right. Jessica went forehand out and around yesterday. It's low ceiling. It's a tunnel. It's technical but gettable.
It was windy. The list goes on.
So the play is really to go right side of this tree. And Paige nails it.
Squeaks by.
And that was her stalker, and she's 20 feet for the bird.
Lisa looking to take the same route.
She's going Halo Savant, and a little early, but she should have, I think, a circle 2 look.
Love these red carpet tee pads.
That's literally what they told me. They're like, hey, there's 14 FPO tee pads. We rolled out the red carpet for you ladies.
It really does feel like that here. They at OTB Open, they were super attentive to the FPO needs. The course is so awesome. They did such a great job. It really is a joy to play a course that feels like it is designed for the FPO game.
Mm-hmm. Catrina threw her H3 V2 just outside the circle. Here's that forehand line. Yeah, not quite wide enough. She's still just outside circle 2. It'll be an easy pitch up or maybe a cool throw in.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, Andy soft bit.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. Drops just before the cage.
It's always fun to see which line Jessica's going to take on her putts. You never know.
Wonder if she knows sometimes.
Lisa settling for the par.
Only 18% of the field with birdies. 6 birdies on the day for the FPO field.
No.
She's still putting herself in position.
Man, that looks so good.
It looked great.
A little bit of pressure on Paige to make the birdie and just...
Surprised to only see 1 birdie on the lead card on this hole, but there was only 6 on the day. This is one of the first greens too where you just have a wide open putt. It's very weird. Just wide open and flat. It's like a practice green. It feels so weird to not have any trees or hills or out of bounds or anything.
Feel on display.
Yeah. And as they tap in on the shortest hole on the course, we move into one of the most technical holes on the course, hole 7. It's 578 feet, but there are 2 Mandos, and it plays so much longer than that because of the way you have to place your shots. You can't just go as the crow flies to the basket. You have to take this kind of out and around method and hopefully weave your way through the trees, getting onto the green for your par. There won't be a lot of birdies on the day.
Yeah, the initial landing zone is tiny. Paige can kind of blast past the initial landing zone. If she gets past that line of trees, that last line, it's actually pretty open. That's pretty good. It's a little too far. It was like a little too turned to the right. The right side definitely has more trees in your way on the way to the green.
I honestly can't get a read on where she landed.
She just like turned. You'll see.
Yeah.
We'll all see together. Lisa Heiser's out a little too soon. She'll have a tricky upshot from there. I don't even know if I want to call it an upshot. Up drive?
Yeah, it's definitely still a drive, or at least a fairway. Catrina hugs the right side a little bit more. I love this play. I know there are a lot more trees over there, but look at it go. She gets a nice finish out to the left.
And that's what I was talking about. If you can get past that last line of trees, which is really, really far, it actually opens up the shot a good bit for the next one.
Gives you a little bit of a little hyzer chip shot to the green.
This is a Vulcan. Cool to see the forehand. It's tricky over there, but doable. There's gaps. They're just small.
Especially if you have a technical forehand like Jessica does, she'll be able to at least get near the circle.
Lisa turning it over a little bit. It looks like, oh no, she just threw a really stable disc. Let me see what that was.
This green is so guarded. Even if you do have a wide open shot, there's so many trees on the left-hand side. If you finish early, there's not a lot of putting opportunity. And if you finish too far to the right, there's a couple trees as well. It's a really cool green.
Fox.
That's so awesome. We're also right next to a fox den with 3 kits.
Man, all these ladies doing a good job to at least get close to the circle. Katrina parking it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would dream of that on this hole. Jess, not having the forehand line I was thinking she could have over here. She tries to go for the Anheuser backhand with a stable disc.
That's a bigger gap than I expected.
Yeah, it's not bad over there. But she gets up and down, no problem. Oh! That OB pinch
Maybe a problem.
Yeah, that OB pinch is super tight behind the basket on the screen. Right around circle's edge.
Paige with a long bid for the birdie. Ooh, catches right side low and sticks. That was, I don't know if she's feeling the pressure, but she knows Katrina's right there. And she's looking to just birdie everything.
No stroke separation on this hole, at least.
Ooh.
Only 3 birdies on the day. We got to watch one of them.
Look at that excitement. That's so cool. Slow motion claps. What a great putt. What a great replay. Jess with a little bit of work left for her par here. No problem.
There we go. Yeah, it's a cool hole because it almost feels like your drive and your second shot are like scramble shots. They're kind of weird. You know, you're not really throwing down a fairway, you're placing shots.
You're definitely not throwing at a golf course.
No, no. Catrina for birdie. There we go. The other birdie in the FPO field on the day was Ella Hansen. Shout out.
Yeah, she made a huge putt. Hole 8's a par 4, probably the easiest par 4 on the course. You're just looking to throw anywhere down towards this like dirt area before these large trees. You can throw like a straight hyzer, or you can throw kind of like a bailout hyzer that leaves you a sidearm to the pin. You can kind of do whatever you want. You just need to get enough distance off the tee to make it a short upshot.
Yeah, and all your upshots are going to be low ceiling. There's not really much options for
a gap.
Yeah. Just know you're going to have to slide something up. Also, well, where Paige is going, she might have a little bit more of an open hyzer shot to the green.
She got so far down there.
Yeah, and she finished right, which is very impressive.
Yeah, she might have a gap, but regardless, I mean, she'll have like a 70-foot look. I don't know, maybe for an eagle, that'd be tight.
Catrina trying to throw a roller here? Love that play.
Yeah, it's her F7, which is her roller disc. Just didn't work out this time.
Yeah, she threw a roller yesterday too, I forgot. That is one way to potentially get all the way down towards the green.
I feel like, though, this hole's not too bad for it, but like the grass is really thick and there's like ground squirrel holes everywhere. I think it's hard to lay down successful rollers out here, even though the holes are long enough that you want to.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the holiest fairways I've ever played. You have to really watch your feet the whole time.
Amen. Oh no.
Did it stay up?
It looked like it got stuck up there. The 2-meter rule is in effect, so we'll see what happens.
Catrina actually has enough airspace to throw a forehand without having to worry about the low ceiling. You want to cut in right behind the trees, though, in order to get on the green and not go deep. She did just that. Lisa, looking at that low ceiling we were talking about.
Hits that tree.
Yeah, gets tangled up in those branches.
Yeah, that'll be a tough look.
Yeah, circle 2 and still low ceiling.
This is one of the only holes where par feels awful.
Yeah, it does. Just slide something up there. She'll have a 25-footer. Paige with a close enough that she looks like she's jump putting.
Yeah, and I mean, even though she kind of had a gap, not really. Like, she still had that branch to contend with, and now she'll have a circle's edge look for her birdie. Lisa not really able to give it much dealing with that low ceiling.
Oh, no.
Man, kind of a surprising show from our lead card struggling on this hole.
Definitely.
Sometimes when it's like a gimme par, I feel like the pressure gets to you. Like, I have to get this.
We had the same thing yesterday on this lead card, though.
Oh, yeah,
we
you're
only
right.
have one birdie yesterday.
I think you're right.
42% of the FPO field with a birdie on this hole, so it's definitely strange not to see more of the ladies on this card capitalizing.
Yep. Just gets a stroke on everybody there.
Cat with
Everybody
a birdie.
except Kat, who also birdied.
Even
Oh,
with the
man.
roller that didn't quite work out, she still managed to scramble.
Yeah, she got far enough up there, and that left side does open up that sidearm. So if you have a sidearm, it's a good place to be.
Is this the first hole that she gets a stroke on, Paige?
No, she did it once
Earlier.
before, but it's
Okay.
been a minute.
Yeah. And moving on to the last hole in the front 9, yet another par 5 and the longest hole on the course. You want to get over this green, or sometimes you'll see players play to the right of it. Your second shot, you want to either go over the water, or you'll see a lot of players playing over to the right-hand side. This side of the fairway has a lot of low ceiling shots that are forced because of these huge trees, whereas if you play way out to the right, it's a lot more open airspace for you to get your distance shots in and try to hopefully get a birdie on this one.
God, this one's huge.
It's huge.
I can't even think about a birdie on this one.
Me neither.
I'm not there yet.
It's not in my playbook. Catrina opting to go around the right side of the green.
Beautiful shot with her D2. And then the more that she kind of fades over here to the left, that'll be like a pretty easy across the water shot from her. She'll have to hit a gap, but the distance isn't too bad from there.
I mean, she went up the right side, but she still also made it over the green. So she did both. That was a crush.
Well, some of us have to pick.
It says it's only 340 feet to get over the green, but man, I feel like it plays so much longer than that. Maybe it's a little uphill. I don't know. The green's definitely situated on top of a hill.
Jessica threw that halo turn really nice, and also we'll have to, choose over the water or out to the right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Smashed.
this is freaking massive.
Gets the full flight.
390 feet to be precise. Thanks, Bushnell.
I feel like in my dreams I play a roller on this hole. I don't know why this looks like such a fun hole to throw a roller on. But we see all air shots, including from the roller queen, Catrina. Lisa flirting with the out of bounds green, but lays down on the hill.
Yeah, she'll probably do that out to the right play. That's where she's lining up. It really opens up your third shot the farther you get down here. And she does that pretty well. Just needs a fade well before these trees. Yeah, beautiful.
Wow. She did that yesterday too. Managed to lay it up just perfectly next to the water. Not even worried about it.
Yeah, trusting yourself out here is important.
Jess gonna do the same thing, but just taking the forehand route.
Looked like a risky...
Was she trying to go over?
I don't know.
She was trying to go over.
It seems like it. Like...
We got a nod. Yeah, she was trying to go over the water on that shot. Didn't quite turn it as much as she wants, but she gave it the height.
This is at D2 again, and she doesn't even have to hit a gap. She's so far up there. She just has to throw over the water, and no problem. She'll be able to attack for birdie from there.
Yeah, she's got the roller play too, so she doesn't even have to worry about the low ceiling.
Paige going out to the right, but over the water, doing both things again.
At the same time.
Amazing. Yeah, she's way up there. Jeez. I wonder if I'll ever stop being, like, amazed or surprised by these ladies. I think that one actually got 2-metered.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So when it said out of bounds, it didn't go in the water.
Yeah, it got stuck up in the tree, which sucks.
For those of you watching and that aren't familiar with the 2-meter rule, we're in California where they like to mess with us. And if your disc lands more than 2 meters up high in a tree or anything that would be 2 meters high, you get an automatic out of bounds stroke and you take it from just below where your disc is in the tree. And it's always a bummer.
And it's demoralizing.
It's the worst. Katrina's still opting for an air shot. I'm just surprised. I think I just selfishly want to watch her throw rollers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely in your head. Yeah. She's throwing a stable disc, trying to skip it on up there, but she'll have to make a putt for her birdie.
The grass on the screen is very thick. You can't really yeah, it's very lush. You can't really get much skip.
That was a beautiful upshot from Paige. She's 20 feet for the birdie, the elusive birdie.
This plate is the third most difficult hole on the course. Only 3 birdies on the day.
So that should be a bogey from Jess with that unfortunate 2-meter.
Lisa chips up a forehand for her par. Catrina with a birdie look from circle 2.
Ooh!
Yes. It was windy on this green too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looked kind of relieved.
Thank God.
Man, I love the full reach back she gets on her putts.
Super hyzer putt.
Uh-huh. I want to see her reaction.
Yeah. Slow motion relief.
That's awesome.
Just to save a bogey here after that unfortunate 2-meter rule. Oh, no. It happens so fast on this hole.
On any hole. You have to be so focused to
not double bogey.
Be a professional disc golfer.
I mean, if you just let your guard down for even a second, you're instantly getting a double bogey on any of these holes.
Cool to see 2 birdies, though. That's definitely impressive.
Congrats to Holland Hanley on the 3rd birdie on the day in the FPO field. I got to watch that on my card.
So that wraps up the front. Paige 1 stroke ahead of where she started, I believe. Oh no, she is. So she is 2 strokes ahead of where she started. So she's 4 total over Catrina. Jessica and Lisa hanging in there. They're 8 down. They're not that far away, but definitely coming down the home stretch here. It looks like it's kind of Paige's to take. Catrina has some work to do to catch up.
There's a lot that can happen though in these last few holes. Still a lot of birdies left, especially for Catrina. I mean, she really knows how to capitalize on this course. She's been putting herself on the green over and over again.
Missy Gannon and Zoe Andake from Chase Card doing really well under par. Owen Scogans, who I played with, just screaming up the leaderboard, 4 down already.
Juliana Korver on one of her first events back on tour, absolutely smashing, which is awesome to see, especially on this big bomber course.
Yeah, there's lots of talent out there.
Thank you guys for hanging out during the front 9. Come watch on the back 9. I'm Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We are the 2 hotkeys.
Honk.